legacy ASMR. And in tonight's video, we are going to be doing a sound assortment. You know the drill. We have some items. We'll introduce them and we'll make fantastic sounds for you to fall asleep to tonight or today. I know I put out a poll, and while the votes were literally 50-50 when I checked, I decided to go with the sound assortment. But you can expect the behind the mic tapping video to come next. And before we get into the introduction of the items, I wanted to give you a quick note that this video has an Easter egg theme to it. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to leave it at that. If you catch on to what it is, put it down in the comment section. Leave what time you think you got it at. But there's a little theme in this. I thought it'd be fun. So let me know if you get it, and at the end of the video, I will go into a bit of a ramble, and I'll say what it is then. Maybe do some hand sounds as well to end off the video, so skip to the end if you want to find out right away. Or if you don't, watch and enjoy this video. Alright, let's get into the introduction of the items. We have a tin case. And inside there is a cardboard thing that we can also tap on. We also have the Slug. Very hard to describe this sound, but it's good. We have the headphone case, specifically these headphones. Pretty typical item for the channel, so I don't think there's much to introduce here. just a bunch of cool different sounds. And the shaking is unique. It's almost echoed because, well, it's metal. Anyway, we will have fun making sounds with this. Wouldn't be a sound assortment video. Wouldn't be a legacy sound assortment video without a book. And our last item for tonight will be Mr. Mono, for those of you who know him. It's the kissing disease. He makes good brushing sounds on the microphone. And for this one, I'm obviously taking the mic cover off so that we can get as deep and close into your ears as we can. So we'll have lots of fun with this one as well. So that's it for the introduction of the items. I think we have a great crop of items and good sounds, so we'll have lots of time to get sleepy and relaxed before the end of the video. So let's get straight into the video. Let's start with the tin case, specifically the tin watch case. How have you been? I hope good. I don't want to talk too much as I'll leave it for the end, but I do hope you're doing well, and I'm doing good myself, just been a bit busy. Sorry for the wait. And thank you if you voted in the poll. It was a tough choice, and I thought you guys would help me decide, but it was a 50-50. When I I checked, so what are you gonna do? But if you voted for the other video, don't worry, I promise it'll come. Relax, 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 and go to sleep. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna put that aside because in here is the little cardboard box. I love that. It sounds so good. It's crisp. Slug, slug. Slug. How many different colors do you see in the slug? I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it restarts with yellow. We have 6 different colors. Yellow, 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 yellow. Green, blue, purple, red, orange. Yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange. Yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange. And then there's one yellow at the very end. Every color appears 3 times except for yellow, which appears 4 times. Math is fun. You are sleepy, and so is the slug. Truman Capote, Caput. You pick. In cold blood. Cold, cold, cold. Blood, blood, blood. Shall we read the synopsis? On November 15th, 1959, in the small town of Holcomb, Kansas, 4 members of the Clutter family were savagely murdered by blasts from a shotgun inches from their face. There was no apparent motive for the crime, and there were almost no clues. As Truman Caput reconstructs the murder and the investigation that led to the capture, trial, and execution of the killers, he generates both mesmerizing suspense and astonishing empathy. In Cold Blood is a work that transcends its moment, yielding poignant insights into the nature of American violence. If you didn't catch on, it is based off a true story. The Clutter family was murdered in Holcomb, Kansas, back in 1959. I believe I read this for a English literature class back in my first year of university. I think. It's been a while. Most of those who telephoned were responsible citizens wanting to be helpful. I wonder if you've interviewed Nancy's friend, Sue Kidwell. I was talking to the child and she said something that struck me. She said the last time she ever spoke to Nancy told Mr. Clutter was in a real bad mood, had been in the past 3 weeks, that she thought he was very worried about something, so worried he'd taken to smoking cigarettes. Either that or the callers were people officially concerned, law officers and sheriffs from other parts of the state. This may be something, may not, but a bartender here says he overheard 2 fellows discussing the case in terms, made it sound like they had a lot to do with it. And while none of these conversations had as yet done more than make extra work for the investigators, it was always possible that the next one might be, as Dewey put it, the break that brings down the curtain. The break that brings down the curtain. I actually recently watched, it's called The Zodiac. I'm sure a lot of you know about the Zodiac killer. I watched the movie about it with Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, and Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's that exact, just paints me that picture where they're in the police department answering calls left, right, and center to get tips from people, and 99% of them are useless. But it's that one call, that one tip that breaks. That is the break that brings down the curtain. 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 a mason jar with liquid in it. It resembles the glass sort of sound. But it's a lot like deeper, more echoey. The sound is much more enclosed. I thought nail tapping would be a bit too aggressive, but it absorbs the sound very well. And I kind of like it. Do you like the design on the water bottle? It's flowers, I believe. You can see that flower right there. You can see some mini flowers everywhere else. I don't know what that is, but it's the biggest thing on the bottle. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. That sounds weird. It's an alien-esque noise. So I will stop that. It's not very contagious, apparently, but transmission requires close contact, such as kissing or sharing drinks, and with an incubation period of 4 to 7 weeks. It can be a while before you know whether you've caught it. Most people get over it in a couple of weeks, though it can take up to a year to kiss the virus goodbye. I had mono. Yeah, ooh, lucky me. And I'll tell you right now, it was not pleasant. It feels like being kicked everywhere in your body to the ground, like you just feel heavy. I remember it was like 2 weeks into it, and I'm like, no, okay, maybe 1 week, and I was like, I should see a doctor, I think I have mono. My doctor was like, I don't think you have mono, but let's do some blood work. I had mono. It was the swollen lymph glands or lymph nodes that really did it for me. Like, I could feel them. They were like balls. I don't think it hit me as hard as it typically hits others. I find my immune system is quite well. But I had a friend who had it the year before me, which is maybe where I got it from. And he was like, he missed like a month worth of like school. It was ridiculous what it did to him. But my body is a trooper, what can I say? And that brings us to Mr. Mono, who makes really good mic brushing sounds. different sounds in your left ear. Which ear do you prefer the sounds in? Now that's an interesting question, because are you ear dominant? One thing I've noticed is if you're a side sleeper while listening to ASMR with headphones in, if you're on your right ear, it gets pushed in your ear a lot more. So you hear it a lot more than if I was only in your left ear. And of course, vice versa, if you're sleeping on your left ear, it gets in your head a lot deeper than if I was just in your right ear. Try it, put in your headphones. They should already be in your ears, but lie down on a pillow, put your head down. Yeah. Now, while we are done with the items, we are not done with the video. As promised, this will be a small little ramble part of the video to end off, along with some hand sounds here and there. But I gotta ask, did you figure out the little themed Easter egg in this video? I'll give you a couple more seconds to think it over, and then I'll give you a hint. If you still haven't gotten it, your hint is, this hint kind of gives it away. It's one of those things where it's like, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't, which is completely fine. But today is my 1-year channel anniversary. I'll let that sink in. I'll let that sink in a little while longer, and then I'll let you know. Exactly 1 year ago today, I uploaded my very first ASMR video, and all of those items I used again in tonight's video. I didn't want to recreate it, so I added a couple more items, and that may have made it a little bit less obvious, but I used the tin case, watch tin case. I used Mr. Mono. I used the case that makes good sounds, and I used the book. I was wondering, I don't even know where it is. seen that video. Which brings me into my ramble a bit. Yeah, I uploaded my very first ASMR video 1 year ago today. That's crazy to think about. I have no words. I feel like every couple of months we're celebrating some kind of achievement or milestone on the channel, and it's been a year. Look at that. Who'd have thought? I remember, I actually don't think I've ever told anyone this, but that first video I literally filmed 3 or 4 times before getting it right. I don't remember why I recorded it, but I was starting after like the second recording that just fell through. I was like, damn, I'm kind of like sad. I'm like, this is not working out. Maybe it's not for me. And then I'm like, screw it, just record a third one and you'll be good. And so I did. I honestly don't even remember what was the issue with the other two. It might have been sound. Maybe the sound wasn't good. Maybe I hadn't figured this out yet, so I was still figuring that out. But anyway, I was getting kind of let down, and I'm like, screw it, let's just record this and upload it. And I uploaded it, and it felt great. And I didn't think at all that it would blow up the way that it did, which brings us here today, obviously. But I remember watching the view count, and I'm like, great, 1 viewer, awesome. 2 viewers, great. And it took maybe a week and a half for it to finally kick off and get a couple hundred of views, and then after that it was a couple of thousand. There's a car going by, but I'm not going to edit that out. And then after a couple of thousand, it was like, wow, I'm getting followers now, subscribers, and that was incredible. And then within, I think, a week or two, I hit 100 subscribers. Soon after that was 1,000, and then here we are after 10,000 subscribers and counting. It's been exactly a year. So, all that to say, thank you so much if you've been here from the very start. And if you haven't, thank you equally as much. You're all a huge reason. You're all the reason as to why I do what I do. You all keep me going. If you're just joining here now, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, thank you. There's lots more to come on the channel, obviously. I take small little breaks here and there, it is what it is, but it just makes that next video hit so much harder. So, yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all the love and patience you've had with me throughout this channel, and it really means a lot to me. Boom. I don't know what that was. I promised a ramble. Let's continue rambling. Yeah, how have you been? I hope you've been really well. I've been doing good. It's been a little bit busy for me the past 2 weeks, but nothing crazy busy. I've just been filling my evenings with more life activities, which means that I do less recording, so I apologize about that, but I'm always going to make time for you guys and for the channel, so never worry. But yeah, how have you been? What have you been up to? I picked up a new hobby. I'm literally Canadian, and I've never skated before. I never played hockey. So me and a couple of buddies 2 weeks ago were like, let's go to an outdoor rink, ODR for short. And I'm like, okay, I need to pick up hockey skates, I need to pick up a stick, I need to do this and that. And so that day was crazy busy. I picked up hockey skates, got them sharpened, bought a hockey stick, and then went to the rink. And it was slush. It was kind of not very good condition, but we went anyway. as a kid, my sport was soccer, and it still is soccer. But I remember at like the age of 13, 14, I had an outdoor rink right beside my house that I would occasionally go to by myself and play hockey. I was not good. I self-taught how to skate and play hockey. And so since then, I've never really been skating. I didn't own skates, so I was really rusty. And now, where I live, we have a brand new outdoor rink. We also have one like 5 minutes away that I've also been going to, but I go almost every day to just shoot the puck, have fun with myself. I'll sometimes bring my girlfriend who skates as well. Maybe go out with a friend or two here and there, but I love just being outside on the rink skating, and I'm getting a lot better. I feel comfortable on skates now, so that's kind of been my hobby, my new passion. And I'm maybe curious, did you pick up something new? If you did, let me know. I've also been working out a little bit. I finally got a home gym. Very, very small home gym. It's a bench and weights. That's it. But it's enough to do pretty much every workout. I do chest, back, biceps, triceps, legs, abs. All of it you can do with free weights. So I've been implementing that into my routine. I like doing it in the morning. I'm a morning workout person. So that's why I've been typically going to bed later and maybe not recording. I'm making up excuses, but doesn't really matter, I guess. So I've been doing that, and a little story for you if you want to hear it, if you care. It might be TMI, too much information, but we'll go with it. Me and my girlfriend made a very, very late trip to the emergency vet clinic the other night. Our cat, dear old stranger is his name. I've mentioned him in some videos. You may have even heard him in previous videos. He's the loudest cat, most talkative cat anyone has ever met. Love him to death, but he has mouth tumors. It's what they call polyps. They are chronic, so they don't affect him at all. And so when they found him on the streets about 5 years ago, they stitched them up and left them because they weren't concerning to him or his body. And so occasionally they will pop and bleed very minimal blood. It's, it's never anything intense. It's just his saliva's a bit red. So the other night we fed him his supper at 11 or 11:30, which is downstairs, and we go upstairs, and I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth, and he came up the stairs, and my girlfriend said, "Oh my God," and I'm like, "What?" And I walk out, and his mouth is bloody, and she's dabbing him up with Kleenex, and it was a lot of blood. So she's like, "Go check downstairs if he made a mess." So I'm walking down our carpeted stairs. He left a trail of blood down the stairs, and then when I look in his food bowl, this may be TMI, but it was full of blood. It was disgusting. It was scary in the moment. Typically he hasn't bled in maybe a year, but if he does, it's never that much blood, so we were concerned that maybe he had, swallowed something sharp in his food. You never know. I hear stories all the time about there was a razor in my food. Maybe he had accidentally eaten a razor and it cut open his mouth and he swallowed it, so we got concerned. And we brought him immediately to the vet. The bleeding stopped after 10 minutes, which was more or less the time we got into the car. And so when we arrived at the clinic, it was midnight, almost midnight, we're like, do we do this? Do we go in? And for obviously his health and our concerns, we went in, and luckily it was nothing other than one of his mouth tumors that got cut open, and for some reason it was just a lot more blood than usual. So we were out in like 4 hours. We got home at like 5 a.m. I'm still a bit sleep deprived. That kicked me, but he's looking good for how old he is and where he came from. He's a very healthy cat, they said. His only concern is that he has a heart murmur, which is when your heart abnormally functions. So let's say you have your valves that open and close to allow the blood flow to continue. His opens and stays open for longer than it has to, and so more blood rushes out. In easier words, it basically means that your body's working overtime. So that was a slight concern that the doctor had, and so we're gonna get him checked to do a I don't know exactly what they're called, cardiologist, something like that, who basically checks hearts and blood in cats, or in pets, cats. So we'll get him checked out then, but he's good, he's great now. He's on antibiotics and also on pain meds for a bit, but we're not giving him the pain meds because he's a trooper, and he doesn't act all that normal on the pain meds. When we brought him home, he was very restless. He didn't sleep for like 20 hours straight, and now he's back into his regular routine where he sleeps, he cuddles, he meows, he talks. So we'll keep it at that. Let the antibiotics do its thing, and he'll be hopefully back to his good old self. Yeah, thank you for listening to my ramble. I hope you enjoyed a little story time. I think that's all I have to say. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, thank you so much for being with me this past year. Even if it hasn't been the whole year, thank you so much. I cannot stress enough how thankful I am to be doing this for you. And I sincerely hope I can continue doing it and only growing the community from there. You guys are great. I love you all. I appreciate your support. Every single video, your feedback, your comments. So let's keep it up. It's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to this next one and many after that. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is a very classic sound assortment because I literally recreated my first ASMR video, which was a sound assortment. So that's kind of cool. But I do hope you enjoyed this video and the ramble aspect. As always, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you